So feeding your family, it shouldn't cost a fortune, but could you do it for less than $10 a day?
Put $10 worth of pepper in here. Well, that's the shopping challenge we've set for our foodie fanatic Jane de Graaf and self-declared world's worst cook, our very own Lara Vella.
We've asked them to buy enough groceries to make 3 filling meals as tasty as they are cheap.
OK, so here's the challenge. Feed a family of 4 for less than $10. Sounds too good to be true, Jane.
Well, I promise we can do it, Lara, as long as we pick the right ingredients.
All right, let's put this tenner to the test. For our first meal, Jane will cook a hearty 1-pan lasagna using ingredients from Coles. Total price, $9.55. Over at Woolworths, my shopping list includes ingredients for a classic and delicious carbonara pasta. But because we can't buy just 3 eggs and the exact amount of cheese, we got a little extra. So the price is $10.40, but the actual cost of what we'll use is just $6.60. Finally, at Aldi, we're buying everything to make a warming shepherd's pie. Total price for that dish, $9.47. Jane, our groceries, they stack up on price, but do they stack up on taste?
Well, Lara, we're about to find out.
And that moment is now. Jane joins us to reveal the final products, and you can check out the recipes by scanning the QR code at the bottom of your screen. Nice to see you, Jane. Let's start with this very delicious-looking lasagna. Carl was about to take a bite, and you told him it was vegetarian.
Okay, this is one of my favourite dishes. It's a lazy 1-pan vegetarian lasagna. You don't have to do any extra work with this. What you do is you replace the meat with some lentils, which will keep the price right down because it's 80 cents a tin, guys, like so cheap. And then you cook down some onions and you put some feta and ricotta cheese in there, put a bit of cheese on top, pop it under the grill, cook it down, and all those flavours infuse. And with very few ingredients, you've actually got quite a lot of flavour in the pan and a dish that feeds the whole family. You also don't have to bother doing all the layering of the lasagna sheets because I just break mine up and pop them all in. So the pasta's in there and you've got little layers built in there, but you haven't done the whole, hours of cooking down meat and layering the sheets of pasta in there.
So it's going to be quick.
It's a great way to feed the family. It's a lot quicker than a traditional lasagna, and it's a lot cheaper. It's a hell of a lot cheaper with those beans in there.
Now, you've made this looks actually really delicious, so a little carbonara.
OK, so carbonara. Carl, do you want to just bring this over and pour that in here? Because this is the whole meal here. It's a huge meal to feed a whole family with literally just 4 ingredients. Real carbonara doesn't need any cream, so you don't need to spend any money on that.
Oh, really?
What you do is you make the sauce using whisked up eggs and the pasta water, and that's what makes it creamy.
Oh.
And you fried down some bacon to give it all that
Good
salt
hack.
and beautiful flavour in there. The recipe is up. It's really easy. It's literally 4 ingredients carbonara, and it takes 12 minutes to make because as soon as the pasta's ready, you can pour all the rest in and stir it through. It feeds the whole family. This one came in at the cheapest. We worked it out to be about $6.60 for the whole dish, which means if you want to add some extra veggies in there, you can. So if you want to put some peas and things in there to bulk it out a bit more and put some veggies in for the family, that's another way to do it. But that is the cheapest thing on the table, and it's fantastic.
Or you could also use cream. You could
add the cream if you really wanted to. You could add some extra cheese, all those kinds of things. But this is my favourite down here.
That looks really good.
This is a traditional shepherd's pie. And what we did here was we looked for the cheapest mince available because typically you'd use beef or lamb. We went with pork mince today.
Oh, yeah. Did you?
Because when we went into Aldi, the pork mince was $4.99 for the 500 grams that we needed, which is super fresh out of the oven, sorry.
Water warming.
Yeah, so all those ingredients, you just look around, get the cheapest thing that you can, and a shepherd's pie bulks it out using the potatoes and the vegetables. And don't be afraid to use frozen vegetables. They're a lot cheaper than fresh ones. You can keep them on hand when you need them and just get them out. If you can use fresh ones, go for it. Nothing wrong with frozen veggies, and it keeps the price right down.
That's really delicious.
Really
and I'm just really surprised, though, that you can really do a family meal for under $10 these days.
Well, what you have to remember is you need to have a couple of things in your pantry so that you don't have to buy those every time. So look at your herbs and spices, figure out what you've got there, and always include onions in your weekly shop, because if you start just about any dish with some fried down onions, you're onto a win.
And your kitchen smells delicious.
Smells amazing, right?
Great ideas for all the folks in Melbourne over the next 7 days, cooking at home.
Yeah.
Well, these recipes plus a whole lot more at 9honey.com.au and scan that QR code on your screen as well. Jane, thank you.
It's my favourite. Get into it.
It is really good.